gotta wait for some people to get here first. We gotta ask him if everything's working.
I can barely hear Isaac.
Really?
Yeah, like you're super quiet. I don't know if it's just me or...
Am I turned up all the way?
Let me check.
This should help a little bit too. Am I better?
Sounds fine for me.
Am I better now?
Yeah.
Alright, how's everybody doing? Can you guys hear us okay? How is my volume? How's Conrad? Say something.
Hello.
How's Conrad's volume? And AJ, say something.
Hello.
How's AJ's volume? How is the music compared to them? It's really hard for me to tell since I'm streaming everything. Okay.
I'm committing a cardinal sin.
And what would that be?
I'm moving my cat.
Oh no.
So we are quiet, or Isaac's quiet?
Oh, come on, out of the way. Move.
Alright. I guess I could try and turn them up. Can you guys say something?
Hello.
I think we're good. How is the quality of the stream itself? Oh, wait, I just realized I forgot to change a setting. Hold on. I'll say the catchphrase once everything is on and working.
Oh my god.
The quality just got really bad. I don't know if it's just me.
Make sure to churn it up, like with the YouTube setting button. It might have gone down to 144. It usually does that.
Oh.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. How is sound? How is video? Let's see. What do I use for... Alright, I need to figure out what script does a specific thing, because I kind of forgot. What script do you put on for changing, like, the post-processing effects and such? Anyone remember what script I told you to put on? Because, like, I forgot what it was called. I don't see it in here. It should be, though. Guys, stream is started. Shh. Hi guys, NoLA4 here, and today we're going to be doing a development live stream for Bikini Bottom Tales. I'm planning on showing off some of the stuff we've been working on, including maybe even a level from BBT Slice Collection. This is going to be the first time I've shown any of this off. Also, I have an awful time when it comes to streaming, so frame rates might be awful, and I apologize. But we will see. Let's see. I feel like an idiot. What is the name of this script? I need to apply. Found it. Okay. I need to put some stuff in, or this level... I'm just messing in a blank level so I can show off some of the little things I've done, but we'll eventually go on to some of the completed levels for Bikini Bottom Tails Slice Collection, so I can show you some actual gameplay. But for now, let's just do this. So I'm going to show off some of the new tikis. So if you look at the new tiki model, which I made yesterday, it looks close or similar to the tikis. Are you okay, AJ?
I'm fine.
They look similar to the tikis in Battle for Bikini Bottom, but with their own uniqueness and extra details. So our tikis have round eyes, 3D modeled teeth, and just some little 3D modeling stuffs in here to add to their details. The nose is rounder and but
No face cam?
not today. I look like garbage and I haven't showered yet, so rather not. So in game though, they have some extra details. We're gonna show those off here. So SpongeBob's looking a little desaturated, but that's just an issue with the shader that maybe I'll even fix during the stream. Sorry, my mic fell down a little bit. This should be better. So if we look at the tikis, they all have their animations and they chomp around, kind of like they did in the Battle for Bikini Bottom, but now it's a little more real, because in Battle for Bikini Bottom, it's just a texture that shifts around. In here, they're fully animated in 3D. And if you look at their pupils, they will look towards SpongeBob, look down at him and up at him and everything. They will focus on him no matter where he is. And if you get nice and close, they'll get all cross-eyed, and it's kind of adorable. And then you can do this to them. So that's fun. You can see their teeth fly all over the place and everything. It's pretty great. I'm gonna turn down Unity, it's a little loud. Still too loud. There's some other stuff here that I would like to show off. If you didn't notice yet, SpongeBob's shadow is beneath him now, which was a problem that I had before, because Unity had removed the method that I used to do that in BFBB HDR, so I had to come up with a new way.
Fucking multiplayer.
Well, that is true, and I was going to talk about that, but they had changed the way that some of the effects work, so I wasn't able to get my projector to work correctly with the shadows, and that's why shadows weren't directly beneath the player for the longest time, but they're fixed now because I have come up with a new method and wrote some new shaders to allow for it. But there's also some other stuff and some other bugs that I'd like to show off that are in the game right now that I will be fixing, so don't worry about them. One of the biggest ones comes with shadows, or the player's shadow, like I was just talking about. And it's a big one, but I know how to fix it. I'm just gonna have to write a script for it. Oh, awesome, man. I just said that. You must have gotten here a little late. That's an issue with the shader because of what I'm about to show off now. His metallic and ambient light is a little messed up compared to how it used to be because of this new shader. But just wait. He won't be that desaturated in a moment once I fix up that shader, but I want to show why I had to redo his shader. So if you look at the grass, you'd probably, if you've seen any of our other videos, have noticed that when you're in the grass, you cannot see where the player is. It's kind of hard to walk around and see where you are and everything. Well, now when you enter the grass, you can see a shadowy silhouette of SpongeBob, so you can know where you are, allowing you to know where SpongeBob is at all times, including when he's behind some tikis and everything. Also, this happens with the shadow, so you can see where SpongeBob's shadow is through everything. No matter what's in the way, you'll always know where you're going to land. This is a nice touch for making platforming feel better, as you can always know where you are going to land in-game. Now, the only issue with this is when you are standing on top of anything. Now, the way that projectors work in Unity is they don't stop once they hit something. They project through everything. Now, this normally isn't a problem, and if it is, it's not that big of a deal, but since we can see shadows through things, that means when you're standing on something, you can see every single iteration of that projected shadow. And I'm going to fix this by firing a ray down from SpongeBob, and the first thing it hits is going to set a maximum distance for the projector, and it will not continue past. Just gonna break some of these adorable little tikis here. And you can see all their teeth all over the ground, and it's really sad. Like, really sad, honestly. The game just feels much better to play with a bunch of the little changes I've been adding. It helps add to the way that a new player jumping into the game will be able to just understand everything, because obviously I get a lot more than you guys would, and I'm able to play the game to somewhat of a better ability and enjoyment than you guys because I made it, and I know how all the systems and everything work. For a new player, they wouldn't exactly know that, so I've been trying to add different things to help the new players understand more with the game and have it just play better mainly with controls and everything. So before, some of the buttons and their placements were a little weird. Like to interact was Q, but now interact is E, and Q is pause at the moment because escape doesn't work in Unity. R is to show your menu, and you can even play fully with a keyboard if you really wanted to. I don't know why you would, but when you play with a keyboard, it simulates the controller input. So when you're looking around with the keyboard, this is using controller input. And you can attack and you can glide and upward smash and downward smash, you know, all the normal controls. You can do all of them with the keyboard and with a controller. The only controller that is accepted right now is a PlayStation 4 controller, but that's because that's all I had on hand. But I have Xbox controllers if my brother will let me use them, so I'll be able to map those into the game soon. I'm going to apply the actual SpongeBob material really fast because seeing him with this desaturated look, it's a little weird, but he won't be able to be seen through walls or like grass and everything when this material isn't on there. But I see people talking about SpongeBob, so I'd like them to see exactly how he's supposed to look. Where is this? It's in here, and is it this one? Now, if you watch when I change this to the correct material, his eyes are gonna break, but this is the color he's supposed to be, okay? And the reason he looks so desaturated like that is the shader is messing with some, just little details with the way that color is rendered on SpongeBob. Oh, whoops. So we're gonna stop the game here, and I'm gonna fix my Unity window because I broke it. Now I'm gonna switch over the OBS view to show both my screens. Let's do this one for now. I'm going to mess with the shader. I never really code when I am live streaming because I get really nervous and shy that people are gonna like make fun of me, but oh well. SpongeBob. So let's see. We're gonna want to see.rgb. You know, this should be fine. It's tinted by color, so let's look at our Bob here. Let me open up the shader on the other window. It's falling back to a diffuse, so this should be working. Maybe I have something in the wrong spot. I'm new to shaders, so it's a little harder for me to get a grasp on this and understand what I'm doing wrong right away. So I apologize for that. One sec. Oh, it's being a... To the internet. Standard diffuse. Or just a diffuse shader Unity. I need to see the original one so that I know how to do this. Well, not mobile diffuse, please. Can I have legacy? I need to go to the GitHub. Well, that's a cutout diffuse, but still allow me to understand, so... Surf Lambert. This is a standard. That should be the problem. I'm an idiot. Okay. There we go. That should fix the problem with SpongeBob's colors. Because it was being rendered as a standard shader instead of a Lambert. That should fix colors. Spencer. Stream.
Cool.
Shh.
Do you think I care?
I would hope so. A GameCube controller, I guess I could map that, but I'd feel like if you were using a USB GameCube controller, it would probably already use X input, so that should work. The game itself is written in C#, but shaders use Unity shader code, so... Now, Why is the game taking so long to work? Of course, it broke. Hold on. So... Stream. I heard you. Okay, so now let's see. What did I fuck up this time? Probably another thing. Let's see. It uses a Lambert, so am I using something with a surface shader? Surface output shader. Where am I doing that? Oh. Now the colors should be fixed. How about that? Let's see. And if we go in, if we just kind of jump into game here, we should see that SpongeBob's colors are more vibrant than before. I was accidentally using a standard shader for rendering SpongeBob instead of a Lambert. Now, there we go. Now he's colorful and he can be seen through grass and other objects. Now, you'd probably think that having all of these objects in the scene are going to make everything line out, but that's actually not true. Most of these are rather low poly, and they only collide with the ground, so that fixes many of the problems you'd normally have. Thank you, Sonic the Gamer. Now, let's see. I could show you some other levels, but I'd like to show off some of the tools we have for making levels first. Now, in-house, we have a lot of different tools when it comes to making levels. We used to not, but then I went on a spree and just made, like, a shitload, so now everybody can make whatever levels they want in a very fast amount of time. And they can use a lot of different things to make their levels look unique. So we'll start by placing some platforms. We don't have a crazy amount, but we have some. What graphics am I on? I'm on this. So we'll set this to here so you can see both screens a little bit. We'll throw in a rounded platform. Then we can put a bigger platform here and bring it up. Now, you know, I'm actually going to fix something right now. Most of these aren't using the correct tiling for the tops, which they should be. Which is another thing I'm going to talk about. So if I want this to tile, I'm going to need the tiling material, which is here. And now this should adjust its tiling based on where everything is and the size, allowing for me to scale this up, this platform, to pretty big sizes and still have it remain the same size textures on it. If I go to Tiki's terrain, we're gonna want to do this for all of them. Because how I had to do it before is you'd place down a bunch and then you'd put this on, because I thought I might have issues with having too many on screen at once, but it really doesn't cause any problems, and most of the time you end up applying it to everything you have anyways, so why not? This should just take a moment.
So where did Conrad go?
Is Conrad not here?
No. Oh, my Lanta.
The hammer isn't remodeled yet. We just haven't gotten to it, and right now the old model works for what we're doing. You missed the Discord. What do you mean? Okay, let's see. We got a few more of these to do. I wish I could just do it all at once, but Unity doesn't let you do that anymore, so, you know, that's great. They require you to do it manually for every single prefab now, instead of just selecting them all and then doing it all at once. Which sucks, but oh well. One more. And there we go. So now if we're in game, and I drag these in, they should automatically be using this new material that I'm going to talk about. I wrote a shader for this, and it's very useful for several different things. So if I were to make a level here, let's use a big platform and attach some smaller ones to it. So like one here. You'll notice that the scaling on the texture will stay the same no matter what size it is. So very consistent textures. And also, if you were to push this texture or push this model into this one, they will line up. So like if I go like this, now I have a small hill on this map. Let's say I scale it up. I mean, this isn't exactly ideal, but I just want to show off what I mean. And I go like this. The textures will line up perfectly, and you'll get a small hill. Now let's just throw some things in. I'm gonna make sure that I'm on the higher graphics because the lower ones are bugging me. Throw in some models here. We're not gonna make anything too crazy, but because I'm just gonna show you off some of the crazier levels later, ones that we made ourselves. But just want to show the tools we have. And let's say I wanted a hole in the terrain here. I can do that. So we're going to select this big plane here, which uses the same material as those. We're going to go like this. Control C, Control V. And now, if we were to do this with anything else, you'd have some Z-planing. But now, with this shader I wrote, these can intersect, and they won't cause any problems. They'll be completely fine. So if I wanted to create some unique terrain shapes, I'm completely able to do that.
Winds southerly at about 15, gusts of 25 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation, we're about a half inch behind. Correction, half inch ahead for the year, and 1 53/100 behind.
So even though those are intersecting, and ignore that that's not happening because they're intersecting. That's a Unity bug. Hold on. So if we look at this, even though they're intersecting, there's no Z-planing. They blend perfectly together, allowing me to create holes in the terrain. And I use that in my map that I'll be showing off soon. You cannot control several SpongeBobs at once because of the multiplayer stuff, which actually caused us more problems than solved. Why can I not? Why is this being weird? I'm gonna drag it to, like... Why is it jumping over the one spot I want it to be? Good enough. Then we can place down some terrain. Rocks, I mean. And we're gonna scale them down. And then rotate them like this. Plus, now, textures won't get stretched out. So we can scale like this. And the textures on these rocks will remain completely fine. Instead of being all stretchy, like would normally happen. Allowing for some more unique shapes with rocks and without us having to make a billion models. We can also create sand patches. Now, this is an interesting system that I came up with. So, you know, you can place down these, which normally doesn't look too impressive. It's just a texture on a plane, right? Well, no. It's actually using the exact same technology that these are using. If we scroll this up, you'll notice that the texture on the inside stays the same. It's just an opening to pretty much another texture, allowing you to blend between them perfectly. And that's not all. Say you open up paint.net. We're going to completely replace the multiplayer API. So, rip out the old one and shove in a new one, which sucks, and it's awful because of how much we have to do to get that to work, but it's a requirement. Whoops. So if we open up paint.net here and we make a new, we'll have it like 512 by 512. And I need to see the colors because it's been a while since I've made one of these. So we go to textures. Our textures. I'm blind, aren't I? Oh, here we go. And on our texture, we go like this. Which one is in full? I think this one. So if we're on our texture and we take black, let's just make it nice and big here. Make a little woo 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 woo, right? We save as, we save it to our textures. Whoops. Are they transparent? They are transparent, aren't they? I am an idiot. Make another woo 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 and save it. If we place down that little path we had, let's place on a patch instead. And I just kind of drag this on in here. There we go. We can have any custom shapes we want with any other texture. It doesn't just have to be sand. So if on here I wanted it to be, let's say, metal, we just drag in our metal texture, and bada bing. Now we have metal on top of our grass. which allows for some really creative stuff to be done in your own levels when you're making them. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, all of these tools are accessible inside the level editor. So you'll be able to do any of this too. There's tons of different ways to color things and different models and everything, but really, right now, none of that's crazy important. We have some other really awesome tools and stuff for making your own levels, but I think right now I'd like to show off mine. I'm going to show off a level called Industrial Fields. This isn't actually how the level looks. It's not rendering any of the effects, and I apologize if the frame rate is low. There is an issue right now with frame rates, and I cannot figure out what is causing it. But I'm just gonna mute music, and we're gonna start this level. So just give it the time it needs to open. Just a moment. Just a little longer. So this is Industrial Fields. It's using pretty much all of the levels in Bikini Bottom Tales Sliced Collection are going to be able to be made in the level editor. All the tools we use are to your disposal. But if you see here, in Industrial Fields, I have some specific details that I did on purpose. There is no wind. Oh, now you can see the shadow issue to its full degree. It's a problem, but I'm gonna fix it, so don't worry. But there's no wind, so all the grass looks extremely artificial on purpose, because this place is entirely made of metal. Frame rate issue. That shouldn't happen normally. But you can see we have all of our really neat tikis here that look towards SpongeBob and enemies. Let me kill this hammer. Ow. I'm going to die. Oh my god. I got fucking triple teamed. So let me go to this hammer, and now you'll notice that this here is an inked fodder. He wields a whip. So instead of hitting you with, it's like an electric whip. So instead of like hitting you with a baton, he whips towards you. You cannot go in for a normal attack, as he will pretty much always hit you first. So the only way to damage him is to do a is to do a smash. So let me alert him here. And, you know, they spray into the ink. Aw, what cute tikis. I'm actually gonna not hit the buttons because I want to show that with the tools our team has, they're able to make custom animations per level. So animations that they want for just their level and their level only, they're able to make those. They're also allowed to mess with all the post-processing now and have their own effects. If they wanted to, they could make a level that completely replicates the look and feel of BFBB. All the way to, like, lower resolutions and, like, 4:3 aspect ratios and everything. Over there is an inked hammer. So, I just killed it on accident. I was gonna show you what it does, but, oh well, I guess. Now, if you notice any of the tikis floating, they're not actually floating, they're standing, like this one here. I I'm trying to point at it. This one right here isn't floating. It's actually sitting on top of this one. I just need to space them out a little bit more. So we can open up the bridge here. I should have been damaged by that hammer, but I wasn't for some reason. A lot of ink objects here and there, and showing their inky properties, and like the trees being all wriggly and... SpongeBob in this level is a lot less saturated on purpose. This level's got a different kind of lighting to it. Here's a cannon, and it's firing ink blobs. Okay, now we have an inked hammer I can show you. They're very scary. They're pretty much invincible except for a very small period of time. So, oh god, there's 2 of them on me. You have to wait for the ink cloud around them to shrink in so you can run up and hit them. Aw, they're so cute. You're able to make ramps like this and everything with our terrain tools. Terrain is pretty great in our game. You're able to make some pretty crazy shapes with it if you really want to. It takes a while to like rotate the grass to fit well on the terrain, but it's entirely possible. And I want to make it where placing grass will orient it towards like off the surface so that it always faces up. Okay, now if you the inked hammer and the inked fodder work very well in unison. So you need to time yourself, but okay, I guess that works. Now, here's my custom animation I made. 2 of them, actually. So there's this animation here that tells you that there's buttons back there I need to hit. And there's the one that, once hitting those buttons, the platforms rise, which is another animation. So I'm going to glide on down here. And hit these buttons. Now you'll see the platforms rise, and we'll be able to continue with the level. This level is rather short, but it's supposed to show in the actual game how the ink is spreading throughout Jellyfish Fields. And I'm not going to go with like any lore with the factory right now, but there is some story behind it and why you're here. But you'll have to find that out when you play Slice Collection. Okay, this part's a little scary. Fuck. The parts for the inked robots are not done, so just... I know that the ham is massive and very low poly. Just ignore that. They're gonna be fixed. Normally, if you want to kill the inked robots, the only effective way to do it is to knock one into the others, or you're gonna have a really bad time. So I recommend, like, that's a way to force the player to think about where they're knocking the robots back, which you can do. You can knock the robots in any direction you choose. You just need to adjust where your player is pointing. So it's a little more difficulty because they're supposed to be harder enemies. Tilting platforms are completely customizable, and you can make anything a tilting platform if you really wanted to. The scripts are there. Oh crap. Ah. And that's where the level would normally end, but it's not going to load the next one because of the multiplayer issue that I'll be mentioning. Alright, I gotta read all these messages. Give me a second. Yes, AJ, not AJ on the call, but AJ in the chat. I indeed do like buffalo chicken sandwiches with salami, pepper, and pepper jack cheese, all on French bread. Bikini Bottom Tales is going to be released on PC and Android, and there's a very small possibility on Xbox. Yes, there will be some Super Sponge remixes eventually. There are no new animations for the hydrodynamic spatula yet. We need to have some new ones made. Ink blobs actually do sit around. I just haven't gotten around to placing them in my level. I feel like the signs look a bit out of place compared to the rest of the environment. I mean, I agree, but that's just what we're stuck with at the moment. Oh, chompers no longer have pupils. The pupils indicate if the tiki is alive or not. If you kill a tiki, you'll notice that the pupils disappear, and on all of the tikis that are written into the story, which are the chompers, they will not have pupils either, because they're not alive, technically. They don't actually exist, they're just made of ink. There is no porting to be done. We have new voice actors. Hold on. They're similar to BFBB. They will be, at least. The Slice Collection's got a little bit more of a movie game vibe to it, with the way that the levels kind of blend into each other, but there is a hub, and you are able to go back to older levels. I think I might just release for Android. Alright, now I could show Jellyfish Fields, or Jellyfish Flashback, but I don't know how the frame rate's gonna be, and there's some issues, but oh well. You'll notice that every level has just a few little tiny issues in it that need to be touched up, but they'll be fixed over time. Right now, what I'm scared about this level is frame rate. We'll have to see. So this is Jellyfish Flashback, which is the reimagined version of Jellyfish Fields. JFO 1 specifically. Oof, frame rate is rough here, but oh well. Oh no. I forgot something. Hold on. There's a problem. Also, these voice lines here are not final. Just informing you. Some of them are older and need to be redone, but don't worry, they'll be fixed. I'm gonna start the game now. That should all be good now. But this level isn't great in my opinion. It's got a little bit of all of the different new features and everything that are in BBT, but the level, it's okay. And Jesus Christ, what is with the frame rate? You'll notice that Squidward's model has been changed again, specifically the shader and material, but the model's been updated a little bit and it looks a little smoother and cleaner.
Robots. Didn't we get rid of you guys like
Some
15
fodders
years
now
ago?
use line of sight and are only able to see you once you walk in front of their eye or get really close to them. You'll notice the new cactus models around the map. They're nice. I made those. I made the new tiki models as well. I've been getting better with modeling and rigging, so you'll notice that I've been doing a lot of the recent models and rigging jobs. Ow. Fodder's eyes have a little bit of a green glow, kind of glass look to them now.
Don't worry, SpongeBob. They're just made of wood. It's not like they are alive.
Yes, some fodders will kind of jump out of the grass at you, so you can't see them. Ow. Checkpoints work. If you notice, you're able to move when doing an upward attack. Now, the reason for that is it's not done. So it's going to launch you up just a little bit, and then after pressing again, you're going to have a second boost up, which will lock you in place. So moving upward once, you'll be able to move around, and it won't be as high up as this. It'll be just a little bit. And then pressing it again, you'll launch up a little bit higher and spin around the hydrodynamic spatula, breaking everything around you. But I was never done programming that functionality in, so right now you're just able to move around when doing a normal one. So, actually, there's a cave section over here, I forgot. You get extra points when knocking fodders back into tikis, so you get rewarded for that if you do that. This is your first introduction to an inked fodder in Bikini Bottom Tails Slice Collection, is inside this cave. This is actually the second level. And there's just one, and you won't see them again until the ink spreads, so that's the only one you'll see for quite a while, quite a few levels.
I just hit him. I hit him for 70 shield. For 70 normal health. My cat is up on my face. What gotta move?
Another checkpoint. So beautiful. Oh yeah, this hole in the map that was made using that technique I explained before. Ow. When the frame rates get low, it really does mess with the game. Even though we have things in place to keep things consistent at all frame rates, there's still some problems with hit detection. Sometimes when your frame rate is low, it doesn't always detect when you are hitting objects. And now, here's where being able to see SpongeBob through grass is really important, are these very grassy areas. I love this spot on the map, by the way. I think it's beautiful. Now, compared to the teeter-totter in Industrial Fields, this one is a lot easier. So as the game progresses, even things such as teeter-totters will get easier and harder. Now, you never actually have to get on top of Jellyfish Rock in this level, but if you do, there is a little bit of an Easter egg in which you climb up here. Hold on. Let me get up there. Come on, please. Ah, why is it so much harder now? No. Cheat. Come on. Come on. Seriously? I've gotten up here so many times, even just today. I almost always come up here every single time I test out this level. There we go.
Wow! What a pretty view!
Just a little Easter egg. And let's die, so I can show off the new drowning animation. Now I have a lot of messages to read. Pants and makes a chart with your traits, looking at the possibilities of what the children might have. Oh my god. Dave, I've done that exact same worksheet. The shift Easter egg kind of works, but it no longer makes it just makes everything ear-rape. It does not make everything oversaturated because of how I changed the post-processing per level instead of 1 for the whole game. I've got a lot to read. Hold on. Still in contact with the other voice actors. Sia is still around sometimes, but are you still in contact with Plankton? Not exactly. Most of them were on the server, but a lot of them have kind of disappeared. Which kind of sucks, but we'll see if I can get a hold of them when we need the lines. Health is pants. Well, pants and underwear. Your first 3 are underwear, but then once you get more, it'll be pants over the underwear. So you can have a total of 6 health slots. You can technically spin and attack them, but it's so hard that I don't recommend it. Patrick has a little bit of a role, Squidward doesn't. The lag isn't a big problem, actually. It's just because I'm streaming. Other than that, it's usually not that big of a problem. Slice Collection will not be... Well, Slice Collection will be available on Android after the first chapter of BBT comes out, because Slice Collection will be a DLC for BBT, accessible in like the menus. It's completely free. We're not going to charge for any of the DLC, but the downloadable content includes this pack. It's coming out before the actual game. It was because I know that people need to play something, and this is going to this is going to come out faster. The checkpoint textures are new textures. I made them. Patrick is playable already, but he has his own moves. They're just not implemented. The only reason he's not playable at the moment is because there's a Patrick AI that can follow you, and you can't switch between them yet. I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. Yeah, but let's look at the checkpoints, because somebody mentioned them. So if we click on the checkpoint here, this is a new model and new textures. They're already redone. I just have to start the animation. See? I don't know, I think they look okay. They're a little lower quality because of I think it's this. Let me switch to the highest settings. Yeah, see, look how much smoother they look now. I'm playing at a lower setting so that it doesn't lag as much for the stream. But the game looks much better on the higher settings. Rocks especially. Like, they get pretty low quality when you lower the settings, but this game actually looks really, really crisp. A lot crisper than you'd think. And that's why there's more pop-in with LODs. I have experimented with Squidward being playable. He will be a playable character in Bikini Bottom Tales, but not in the first chapter. He's not even in the book yet at that point. Now, I have more levels I could show off, but I don't know if I should. I want to leave some surprises, you know? I don't want to show off everything right now. And then just have, like, my brain blanked there. And then have no surprises for you guys when you actually play the game. You know what I mean? I would love to show you some of the amazing levels that have been made, especially T-King's Tar Pit, but if I did, the game wouldn't be as special when it actually releases. I could show you, I guess I'll open up T-King's Tar Pit and just show it off. I won't actually play through it, because I want to show you guys how large that level is. It's pretty insane. Like, it's incredible what is there. Would you guys be okay with that? Why are all of these using the wrong material now? I'll have to fix that. They shouldn't be tiling like this. This level is so big that I lose the start of it. What the hell? Where do I start? Let me turn off the effects and see if I can find it. Alright, here's the start of the level. So, here's where the level starts, and you can see Squidward and Patrick sitting up here. And it's pretty nice, you know. You start here, and there's two different paths you can go right away. This way or this way. And this level is so fucking big that, like, holy shit. I don't even know. Like, this level is insane how large it is. Let me turn off effects and try and show you. So if we go back over to the start, Where's the beginning? Okay. So here's the beginning of the level, correct? And do you see how big, like, Patrick is right there? You know SpongeBob's relative size to Patrick. It's huge. It's hunormous. It's insane. I will not be showing off the hub. I would play this level, but I'd like to leave it a surprise for now. Is there anything specifically you guys would like me to show off? Make it happen. Make what happen? Downtown Bikini Bottom does not exist in BBT, and will not exist in BBT. I actually have more of that. I could show an army of Ink Patricks. That is a good idea. I like the way you think. I could even make them damage you. Let's do that right now. Let's load on into the empty level that's already set up for us. All right, let's get this. Let's make this happen. Dragon and AI Patrick. Then we will create a sphere here. I cannot see the sphere. take the other sphere. So, where is it? Make it 0.001 so that he will always walk towards you. He'll never stop when he gets to a certain distance. And then on here, we'll add the damage component, so it'll damage when he touches you. Let me see if I need to do anything special for this or if it's already set up. Is that all I need? I think that might be all I need. I have something that does that. I think Painful Ink does that. I just gotta make sure that I'm doing this right, because I haven't set much up like this. Yeah, that seems to be all it needs. Oh, and I don't think it needs to be trigger either. Oh wait, I just realized this does have to exist. It just doesn't need to be as big. Put it to like there. Alright, that seems good. Now let me test him. And let's set the 1 point here. Now, if I hit play, we'll test this here and see if Patrick will damage the player, and ignore the fact that there's no effects. Oh, whoops, I forgot. This is broke. Hold on. We need to make... I need to set this trigger. What am I doing wrong? Help. Oh, it doesn't do any damage, does it? I just have it not backing. Well, at least it works. 1. That seems to work. Let's make sure that we set these to this trigger. This trigger. And then let's give him the ink material. That one's too much. There we go. Now let's test it again. Oh no. Ow. When he hits you, it locks you in place. So he, like, it's not enjoyable. Oh no, this is scary. Okay, let's take... Let's take the range on here and make it a little bit larger. That's good. That should be enough, I'd assume. And let's fix this problem with the lighting. Or the, not the lighting, the post-processing. And now, let's take you, Control Z, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. That should be enough for now. We can make it more later. Okay, you'd like me to make everything scarier? I can do that. We have some stuff. Alright, let's make a, we could use, that skybox will work. Hold on, I have an idea. We're gonna reset all these Patricks. 1 second. 1 second. I can make this so much scarier.
Now you go in this storm, get down, I can throw you in, and then revive you.
I can make this so much scarier.
And you have to throw your health.
Oh, yeah, you'll see that that's because I'm at a lower setting. Now, they'll all have lights if I up the graphics. I'm gonna up them again, too.
It only does one. I was just standing back and forth. I'm at 9. I'm dropping.
There we go.
Where's my stuff? No, I'm missing so much stuff. This is my SMG, and I'm missing TV. No.
Now, do I have the proper song in the files at the moment? Because I know the exact song that would work for this. Find the music. I'm blind. This always takes me way too long. It's not in here. Let's add it. I need to find it in my files really fast. Before I start going through my files on stream, I should probably switch to just this screen. There's nothing in here that's like bad. I don't want to spoil anything. There's some stuff in here that I need to find the walls. They breathe. Spencer, can you be a little quieter? The first run of this is just a test. See if this is even gonna work. If you're wondering why I'm walking into them, that's the only way for me to trigger them to follow me. And I want to have as many of them following me as I can. Oh god, this is awful. What have I done? Help. Help. Oh god, this is horrifying. Please stop following me. I need to stop. I need this to stop. Oh no. Oh no. What do I do? If I move, I'm gonna take damage. There's nothing I can do. They've trapped me. I'm dead. That's it. There's nothing else. I've escaped. No! No! Please. Are you satisfied? I'm reading the chat. Just give me a second.
Yeah. I should have put on party.
All right, I have a song that will work for this.
Jason. Yeah. My first game on today. I was playing on Switch. I got a win.
All right, I need to download the file though. I don't have it on my PC.
It was the 1v1. I couldn't find it. I used seven hit me, but he smacked me.
All right, just 1 second. There is a song that needs to be played during this.
So if you knock someone, don't
I've just got to find it. This will only take a second.
find him and you don't do a full game.
You guys kept saying grass skirt chase. So instead, we're going to play brass knuckle chase. The BBT version of grass skirt chase.
Guess what I just got there?
Will that satisfy you? Will that satisfy your guys' desires?
Jump on him. I got bug burst. There's no way I could have got down from there. You're supposed to break the rest of the way. No, I was breaking them, right? No, like from the ground. Like from the ground. You can break from the ground. You see on the line, you break the head and then the wall falls. I know, but like I was expecting someone else to land on me, okay? Hit it and then, kill it.
Okay.
That thing is fun.
Now, if we click down the walls they breathe, and instead we apply brass knuckle chase, wherever it is, because I just imported it. What the hell? Didn't I just import the song? Alright, now this should be good. This is bad. Okay, I'm not escaping it this time. There's no escape this time.
I'm gonna open this and take the yellow. What is that?
Now, do you have any other recommendations? What would you guys like to see now? Am I gonna have to make a dance animation? Spencer, did you turn that up really loud? It sounds louder than it was before. Do you guys want to see what Jellyfish Fields from BFBB HDR looks like in the BBT engine? Let's attempt to fix this. It's not going to look very good because the textures we have are not made for this model, but we'll see. Let's fix some of it. Where's the hanging grass? Oh yeah, we can't have overhanging grass. No, there's no point in trying to fix this. Let's just play it like this. Yeah, as you can tell, this shows you just how many changes there's been. since HDR. HDR just doesn't work anymore. It's completely broken. These maps are not intended to be played with the current game's everything. Everything's been changed. Patrick's still navigating though, even though the map is this now. There's just floating stuff everywhere. Everything's pink. Stuff is inside of everything. This bench is inside the ground. Platforms are just floating. Goodbye, Patrick. This section isn't too bad. It's not, like, completely broken. Oh no. I'm pretty sure that the hammers up here were somehow replaced with inked hammers. Nobody made that change. That's just a corruption problem. For some reason, they're inked hammers now. Yeah, as you can see, when the clouds are out, you cannot attack them. God damn it. I can't attack this one at all. What is with this? This one's just invincible. Am I able to smash it? No, it's just, it doesn't die. This one just doesn't die. Maybe I'm just bad. Nope, I'm just bad. Why are all the hammers replaced with inked hammers? I don't understand what could have even caused that. And that's it. I made it to the end of the level somehow. Oh. Probably gonna end the stream soon. I don't know if I could recreate the face properly, because that was when I was modeling it and rigging it. It had issues with the rig. I see that the interior of SpongeBob's house model is still textured, but the outside world isn't. How about Squidward's house? Yeah, Squidward's house is... the interior is textured a little bit. Patrick's? Nope. Alright, let's load up. Level template again. I think it's broken. BFBB HDR's Jellyfish Fields 1, it's completely broken. We've redone so much that it's not the same anymore. It's not the same map. It's not the same... I mean, it's not the same game. Like, it's completely different. Even the way that things function. I've rewritten a bunch of scripts as well. The game... the engine is getting to the point where I think I should stop calling it the HDR engine, because there's been so much that's redone. I mean, the character controllers stayed pretty much the same, but besides that, there's been a lot of changes. I think this stream's been pretty successful, though. We showed off quite a lot today. But I do think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching the stream tonight. Thank you for following development, even though we've gone through so many hard times. And I know that things seem slow, and right now they kind of are, because I've got a lot of stuff to work on, and I have finals coming up. And I really do apologize for the lack of communication recently, but I'll try and communicate more with the community, and I'm going to be working on the game, even though I have a lot of other stuff going on. It's just, it's slow. I don't have very much time to work on the game. But as you can see from there, a lot of work has been done. A crazy amount. The game won't even load levels properly from what it used to be. It's a completely different experience. But thank you all for watching, and goodbye.